This story is regarding Ashley Zhao. Ashley Zhao was a 5-year-old out of Ohio. This was a massive case a few years ago, and I thought it was very sad, so make sure y'all understand. But at the same time, I'm happy that she got justice, but justice would have been her growing up to a good age. So let's get through it. All right, here we go.
On the cold winter night in Jackson Township, Ohio, just past 9 p.m., emergency services received a call from a father, his desperation echoing through the wintry chaos.
Jackson Township Police.
Hi, yes, I need some help.
Okay, where are you at?
4924 Porter Street.
Hey, what's going on?
Why does the 911 person sound so nonchalant? Where you at? Okay, what's going on? You sound so nonchalant. Don't even sound professional.
I can't find my daughter.
Okay, how old is she?
5. She just turned 5.
Liang Zhao can't find his daughter. 5-year-old Ashley Zhao vanished from her parents' restaurant.
Just pray that if somebody took her, that they would have the heart to bring her home. Because
it made news.
Parents are just in such distress.
Yet, her destiny was far darker than a missing child. This is the story of Ashley Zhao, the little one who was betrayed in the worst possible way by her own parents. Today,
man.
We will unravel the mind of one of the most evil mother to ever walk the face of the earth.
Ooh.
In the heart of Jackson Township, Ohio, a seemingly ordinary family owned a local Chinese restaurant, Ang's Asian Cuisine. But Ming Ming Chen and Liang Zhao, the couple who owned the restaurant, held a secret that would shatter the tranquility of their small town. Their daughter's body was discovered hidden within the walls of their seemingly ordinary eatery.
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
Confused and devastated, family, friends, and total strangers rushed to Ang's Asian restaurant Tuesday night to confirm the horrific news.
To break the chains of oppression, many Chinese...
Wait, they put their daughter in the walls of the restaurant? Do you know how many people was eating at that restaurant? And there was just a child there? What about the smell? That's still sad. That's still sad.
Citizens moved to the United States. 2 of such immigrants were Ming Ming Chen and Liang Zhao. They settled in Ohio and opened a restaurant. They were living their American dream, but then, in 2017, tragedy struck when the police received a call from their restaurant.
And, we went to work and, we let her sleep. We
definitely need a light Yagami.
After it got busy, we started cleaning up, and then, we opened the door, and she's not here.
Okay, so what's your name?
Liang Zhao.
Liang Zhao packed his bags in China in the late 90s and set his sights on the Big Apple, New York. He dove headfirst
so this is
into
a
the
backstory.
American dream, grinding day in and day out until he got that coveted U.S. citizenship.
Ooh.
Fast forward a bunch of years, and in 2008, he met a beautiful Chinese girl, Ming Ming Chen. Ming Ming's journey wasn't that straightforward. It all went down in August 2008. As a teenager, she took the wild route, pulling off an undercover immigration adventure from China to the USA. She shelled out a jaw-dropping $20,000 to a human smuggler just to sneak her across the border.
Damn.
Ming Ming takes flight from China, lands in Mexico, and goes undercover, tucked away in a vehicle as she crosses the U.S. border. Next stop,
she smuggled
New York.
in.
And who's there to greet her? None other than her uncle, who whisks her off to Ohio. Fast forward. A year into her American adventure, Ming Ming decided to make a move. She applied for asylum. It was based on her religious belief.
You know what's crazy? The way he makes it sounds like yes, we know she ends up being a murderer, but the way he makes it sound as he's building the story, it's like she was a serial killer that entered America and she's this. I'm just saying.
Ming Ming was a practitioner of Falun Gong, a Chinese spiritual practice that was facing persecution by the Chinese government. She fled China after being arrested by police in April 2008 during a raid on her home. Ming Ming was detained for a month and subjected to physical punishment. She claimed that an officer ordered her to sign a statement promising not to practice Falun Gong. However, the judge deemed Ming Ming's testimony not credible, citing inconsistencies between her statements, written submissions, and supporting evidence. As a result, she was ordered to be deported to China. So, for the next 4 years, Ming Ming fought tooth and nail against deportation while crafting her own version of the American dream. In the midst of this, and in March 2010, they got married.
She said she ain't
7
going
months
back.
Later,
Ming Ming said, I ain't going back to China, damn it. We gonna figure this out. I'm gonna find me some fool that's gonna marry me. We gonna figure this out. I ain't going back to America. I ain't going back to China. They done beat my ass. I ain't going back to
patter
China.
of tiny feet fills their home with the arrival of their firstborn, Jojo. Now, let's fast forward to the
they got
summer
more than
of
one kid.
2011. The couple takes a leap and opens their own Chinese restaurant, Ang's Asian Cuisine, in North Canton, Ohio. Liang was no stranger to the restaurant business, with his family previously running Lucky Star Restaurant for 11 years in the same
New York?
spot.
Oh, no, same spot.
Ming Ming and Liang wanted something uniquely theirs. The dynamic duo wore all the hats at the restaurant, working tirelessly with no employees to make their dreams thrive. The locals showered them with love, praising the fresh dishes, speedy deliveries, and the warm vibes the couple brought to the table. It's not just about food, it's about building connections with their customers. Then, in December 2011, they welcomed their second daughter, Ashley. Running a successful eatery and raising a family became a juggling act. 6 days a week, they navigate the hustle and bustle, balancing business and family life. Ming Ming makes a tough call to stay put and double down on managing the restaurant. But juggling the restaurant and parenting proved to be a mountain too high to climb. So, in a bittersweet move, Ashley and Jojo packed their bags and head to New York to stay with their grandparents. It was a tough decision, a temporary measure to keep the family afloat. Little did they know, this separation would stretch over 2 long years. Until the girls finally reunite with their parents in Ohio come October 2015. Now, let's zoom in on Ashley's side of the story. Living with her grandparents seems to have left a mark. When she returns to Ohio, she got a bit rebellious. Parenting Ashley becomes a challenge, and managing the restaurant alongside.
That usually happens when parents, because grandparents are usually, think about you when you went to go see your grandparents. Your grandparents were very, very loose. They didn't have to be the strict ones sometimes. So I wonder if when Ashley was in New York with her grandparents, she got away with everything. And when she got away with everything, she comes back home. Her parents are a bit strict and they're like, wait, what? Ashley's like, why is this happening? No, I want to do this way. This is how I've been raised for the last 4 years of my life. Why are you trying to be more strict? So maybe that's where the rebellious side came in.
A seemingly unruly child takes a toll on Ming Ming. To add to the storm, Liang's behavior took a dark turn. He became abusive, unleashing his frustrations on Ming Ming. As they
he
tried
started
to settle
beating
into
Ming
a new
Ming.
rhythm, Jojo started school, and Liang took on the daily task of drop-offs and pickups. Yet, despite their grind, financial struggles persisted. Ashley
so the restaurant
became
still
a
wasn't doing
regular
good
at the restaurant, with Ming Ming and Liang clocking in long hours, the girls finding their own world behind the cash register or in the back room. Even though Ashley...
So in America, you sometimes see that a lot, where you go to an Asian establishment or you go to a minority establishment and you see the child there as well. Sometimes they're working and helping out. Other times they're on a phone just spending their days. Is it always something that's this case? No. But you got to also look at it as 2-parent household. You're working, trying to create a business. I'm not giving them an excuse at all, but you have a ton of people trying to chase this American dream, and this is sometimes what happens. Not that they murder their child, but what I'm saying is they don't have help because sometimes they flee another country. They don't have help to help watch their child. So they got to bring their child to the restaurant or bring their child to work so that they can make money so that they all can live.
Was a difficult child forming Ming. The customers at the restaurant remember her as sociable, greeting customers with a massive grin. But then, on the quiet night of January 9th, 2017, in Jackson County Township, Ohio, at 9:30 p.m., The routine for the local police was disrupted by an unexpected phone call. Liang, on the other end of the line, reported a distressing situation.
Jackson Township Police.
Hi, yes, I need some help.
Okay, where are you at?
4924 Portage Street.
Okay, where you
What's
at?
going on?
I can't find my daughter.
Okay, how old is
He
she?
doesn't sound panicked.
5. She just turned 5.
Okay, and you're at Ames?
Thanks, yeah. Quiet.
When's the last time you seen her?
This afternoon, probably.
Around what time?
3, maybe 4.
What time is it now?
In the background, Ming Ming could be heard shouting out the correct time of her disappearance. It's 5.
3, maybe 4.
So you haven't seen her in 5 hours?
You saw her in 5?
What was she wearing?
She's wearing a purple winter coat. I don't know what those things are called, but they're not jeans. They're like,
Like leggings?
Yeah.
Okay, and you haven't seen her in 5 hours?
About, yeah. I mean, she was there sleeping. I mean, you know.
Where was she sleeping at, in the restaurant?
Yeah. She was sleeping there, and I picked up my older daughter from school. We all saw her sleeping there. So, and, you know, we went to work, and, you know, we let her sleep. We got busy, and then, after it got busy...
Does he sound panicked, Chad?
And then, you know, we opened the door, and she's not here.
Okay, sir, what's your name?
Liang Zhao.
Okay, do you have any videos or anything in there where you can see a video, see if she was laying there?
No. We don't have any security camera in there. It's just in the restaurant. We've been here for 6 years. We never had security cameras here. We saw her, like all of us, like my wife, myself, and my older daughter.
Okay, and so was there any suspicious people that came in at all? Do you think she could have walked out and ran out somewhere?
He does sound confused, chat, but it's also it's his story's panning out because we definitely don't know what type of personality he is. Because this could be his personality where he doesn't get hysterical. He could be panicked, but he's not hysterical. So that's why I can't really tell yet if there's anything mischievous about the way he's chatting.
I have no idea. I mean, she was sleeping in the back.
None of your employees had seen her?
There's only 2 of us, just myself and my wife. There's nobody else in the restaurant. But when we came back, she's here. Like, my wife is here. The restaurant's open. The restaurant's always open.
When you left,
So when he left, did he leave the child by himself in the restaurant, or was his wife still in the restaurant with the child? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Said you, your wife, and your daughter left to go pick up your daughter from school?
No, I didn't say that. I said my wife is here all the time.
Oh, the wife stayed.
And your wife hasn't seen her either since around 4 or 5 o'clock?
I'm sorry. When I meant was myself, okay? When I went to pick up my daughter, when we came back, myself and my daughter, not my wife. My wife was here the whole time.
That's right. What's your daughter's name?
Ashley.
Ashley was tired and had gone to sleep in the back room of the restaurant. Liang explained that he had picked up their oldest daughter from school, and upon returning, they discovered Ashley missing when the restaurant quieted down. She had vanished from the back room.
All right, my officer's outside if you want to go and meet my officer at the door, okay?
He's here right now?
Yeah, he's already outside.
In the front or the back?
He should be in the front.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
In less than 3 minutes of making the 911 call while
fast.
Liang was still talking to the first responder over the phone, an officer from the Jackson Township Police Department was already at his door.
3
A 5-year-old
minutes?
was stranded on the streets at night in the Ohio cold. Ashley was in grave danger. Concerns grew, prompting the Ohio Attorney General's office to issue a missing child alert for Ashley.
And actually, guys, most recently in this very parking lot, we saw BCI, that's the investigative unit, through the Attorney General's office. So it's safe to say this massive search is being taken very seriously today.
The FBI and Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation were called in to assist. They suspected that Ashley might have wandered out the back door while the parents were engrossed in their restaurant duties. Although she had done so on previous occasions, this time the weather was treacherous. Extremely
So they let
cold.
their child just walk out the back?
Breaking news, a community shaken as police in Jackson Township search for this little girl, 5-year-old Ashley Zhao.
A search party commenced at the restaurant,
Oh,
extending
man.
their efforts to a wooded area behind. The community joined in on the search.
Douglas Panzarello works across the street. He goes to Ang's Chinese cuisine all the time.
When I leave work today, I am going to drive around the back. I'm going to do my own little search.
The fear was that Ashley had wandered out and gotten lost, especially given the thick brush and water between the strip shopping plaza and State College. The search
there's water
faced
there?
Challenges due to the low visibility in the blizzard. The Jackson Township Fire Department deployed drones for a quicker scan of the area, while investigators simultaneously searched inside the restaurant. The unsettling realization emerged that no one had witnessed Ashley wandering off, leaving the possibility that she might still be in.
So my question also is there no cameras behind the shop? It's 2017. You can't tell me behind the shop don't have any cameras where you can't see down any alley. It's hard to believe there's no cameras. I'm just saying. It's just hard to believe.
Inside, perhaps stuck somewhere, perhaps in a dryer or cubbyhole. A thorough search of the entire restaurant started again. The search extended to the public, urging anyone with information to contact the police.
How many
If
days
you are in
have
this
gone by?
area, you were asked to be on the lookout for this little girl. We just showed you her picture several times.
Ashley was last seen wearing a purple winter coat and gray leggings. Despite the family's tragic situation, they opted not to make a personal plea in the media. Investigators also called for information from anyone who had been at the family's restaurant on the Monday in question.
But why would they not go into the media? Why would they? If it would help bring your child, why would you decline from going into the media? That's where it's getting suspicious.
We worked very hard on this case, and the one thing we wanted at the end of the day was to recover that girl alive.
Search efforts faced challenging weather conditions, with some investigators battling the cold and snowy conditions outside, while others stayed inside the restaurant. The uncertainty surrounding the situation led investigators to treat the restaurant as potentially a crime scene, keeping it secure and keeping their eyes open for clues. And then during the search in the kitchen, investigators discovered a crawl space above the walk-in freezer that hadn't been explored yet. It was large enough for a child to squeeze into. Upon opening it, they found a container filled with what appeared to be salt. It took them a moment to realize a small hand was poking out of the salt.
Oh, no!
She was found dead. The innocent child had never gone missing. She was hidden away in the company of her own parents all along. Ashley's body was taken to the medical examiner's office, where the autopsy...
So they put her in salt to kind of preserve her body from rotting. How long did they think they was going to get away with it? The fact that they took the steps to put her under salt to preserve the body so that it did not decay at a fast pace? Did they have a plan for her? It's sickening. In the crawl space of a restaurant? Y'all, I can't go to no restaurant no more. And this is, I want to be 100% clear. This is not indicative of any Chinese or any immigrants or any Asian establishment. Not everyone is the same. And I'm not condemning any of those restaurants. Because even American restaurants, you find rats in McDonald's and Burger King and Popeyes. But this is heinous.
Revealed she had suffered severe injuries to both her head and body.
Oh, they beat her.
Was devastating. Everything started to make sense now. The way Liang was startled when the first responder told him the police were already there. Why the family opted not to make a personal plea to the public.
Exactly, personal plea.
Why there were no eyewitnesses who saw Ashley walk out of the restaurant.
No video cameras.
Everything started to make sense now. Ming Ming and Liang were arrested. Ming Ming faced charges of murder and felonious assault, while Liang was charged with complicity to murder and complicity to commit felonious assault. Both were ordered to be held on a $5 million bond. Such a high bond was placed because of Ming Ming's undocumented status, raising the possibility of her fleeing.
Yeah.
The same concerns also existed
He's
about
still a
Liang
Chinese.
if he was released.
But he's a U.S.
Meanwhile,
citizen.
a makeshift memorial formed outside the family's restaurant. Grief-stricken
That's
members
sad.
of the public left stuffed animals, bouquets of flowers, and condolence cards. That night, a steady stream of people gathered for a vigil in Ashley's memory.
What
in
would
front
a
of the
child?
restaurant.
I don't care how bad a child is. I don't care how bad a child is. You send the child back to the grandparents. Do something. Don't take the child's life.
I just can't believe a mom can do that to her child.
A shared sentiment took center stage. What happened to Ashley was
crazy.
unforgivable. Those in attendance expressed their reflections on the tragic events. Many mentioned they never saw any signs of abuse or neglect, describing Ashley as simply adorable.
Of our hearts, and with her story, we will work to maybe one day.
Why y'all putting children on the news?
Maggie Wells, a 12-year-old, along with her mother, were patrons at the restaurant.
Both makes sense.
Vividly recall encountering the little girl during their visits. One attendee mentioned giving Ashley a coloring book and crayons, as they often saw her engaged in coloring activities. People who knew the family, especially Liang Zhao, found it hard to believe the man they knew was charged with such a horrific crime.
I'm telling you, but you also didn't know he was beating his wife too. I bet you that. And that's the one thing about a lot of us. We see what we think is happy people, but really at home, they could be destructive individuals. People can hide things until they can't hide it no more.
Believe that
what's that saying? Whatever happens in the dark always comes to light. Big
would ever
facts.
intentionally harm his daughters. As soon as Ming Ming and Liang were arrested, they were separated and taken to different interrogation rooms.
Of course, you need to get the stories right.
Early in the questioning, Ming Ming was informed of Ashley's death. According to investigators, she showed no emotion.
Oh,
was it because
shit.
of the grieving mother's coping mechanism, or was she truly a monster? In the interview, she claimed that after Ashley returned to her parents from New York, Ashley's demeanor completely changed. For Ming Ming, Ashley was a difficult child who refused to listen and lashed out at her sister when she didn't get her way. And how did Ming Ming's response to Ashley acting up?
She beat her ass.
She would beat her up.
But Ashley just doesn't like normal girl, normal kids. She do everything bad. After that, his mother fight my husband. Say a lot of bad words. Do you know why? Because she want to leave.
I'm confused. If English isn't her best language, why would they not get an interpreter here? This is very, very dangerous. And I know for a lot of you guys that has watched my reactions, you know how I feel about being interrogated and especially giving up free information. Why would the state of Ohio allow an interrogation with two individuals who don't understand Mandarin and a person who is barely fluent in English explain what happened? Remember that saying in the Miranda rights? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will and can be used against you in the court of law, or can and will be used against you in the court of law. Her English isn't that great. I'm not being sensitive to her situation, but any defense lawyer should be able to throw that out. If English isn't her first language, she's obviously not going to be able to tell the story in the correct way in which she needs to tell it. Words are going to be misused. And when words are misused, what is that? It's going to be used against you. That's crazy that they interrogated her without a translator.
She doesn't want to stay with us. I tell you all the truth, sir.
I know you did.
Their parents told us everything. It's nothing. Do you know why now we have a restaurant, we have house? It's all from me and my husband.
Right.
No one else.
Right. You worked hard on
And when Ashley almost 4, not 4, like 3 maybe, his parents want to take Ashley to China. And their team here made a passport. Do you know what did she say? She got a lot of bad words. Do you know why they say that? Because they doesn't like me. Because I don't have a green card.
Oh, so they didn't like her because she didn't have a green card?
It wasn't my fault. That's okay. Because I love my husband. I don't care about that. And
what in the world?
We done the passport. Ashley go to China, and I talked to my husband. Say when Ashley come back, we bring Ashley back here because Ashley almost 4. Jojo 5. They're not together like 4 years. They're not close together, not too close. And we want her back here soon.
She rationalized the reasons behind her actions, portraying them as a twisted justification. She also attempted to position herself as a victim, pointing to her in-laws as contributing to her circumstances.
I need to take care of everything from the restaurant. I only have 2 hands. I'm not 4 hands girl. I'm 2 hands.
Oh, she talking too much.
Ashley, but you can control yourself sometimes.
Did she think she was gonna talk her way out of this? You can't control Ashley, but you can control yourself. What? So you took your child's life and you're justifying it now? What world is that? I don't care what country you is. Murder is murder. Last I checked, murder is illegal in every single country you go to. Now, you may have corrupt politicians, but murder is murder in any country you go to. Plain simple.
Ming Ming channeled her frustration rising from typical Chinese in-law issues and excessive workload onto her vulnerable daughter. She was overwhelmed, trying to manage both her home and the business. She complained about the struggle of having only 2 hands, not 4. Interrogators can't help but notice her uncanny, emotionless demeanor.
I know that you're not crying.
Okay, let's be honest. This is the one thing that I hate about our justice system and our justice system and our lack of psychological understanding of other cultures when it comes to law enforcement. And I'm gonna say this real quick. Just because someone doesn't react the way you anticipate they should react doesn't mean you understand their feelings. I'm not saying that the way Ming Ming, or I think that's her name, Ming Ming, one of those. Just because she's not reacting the way you would think a mother should react doesn't mean she doesn't have emotions towards the situation. You feel me? I've seen people in dead of shock. I've seen people act nonchalant at the death of things, but it's tearing them inside. People grieve in their own way. So to force a templated grieving way on someone should be automatically stricken out of law enforcement because you don't know what you're expecting. And to assume that someone's supposed to feel a certain way is discrediting someone automatically. That's just my 2 cents.
You said I don't have nothing left. Isn't that what you told me? You don't have no tears left. You don't have nothing left. Ming Ming, your daughter's dead.
Notice how her answers got even more straight and shorter when the interrogator asked what happened to Ashley.
What happened to Ashley? How she died?
I'll kill her.
You killed her?
Yeah.
How did you kill her?
I'll just kill her.
Damn, she straight up said it.
Was it an accident? What happened?
She straight up said it. And this, my friend, is why you need a lawyer. And this, my friend, is why you need a translator. Because though she said I killed her, that is going to be used as guilt. But what it could be is it was an accident, something did happen, but the end result was I killed her. Maybe she needs brain cells. I don't think it's always necessary brain cells. I think it's a lot of the time. So from my knowledge of Asia and China, emotions is very frowned upon. Love from a family member or love from a parent is frowned upon. You don't tell your family member, I love you. It's weird to them. You don't show emotions. It's just not in their nature. We as American or other societies can be overly emotional, but we can't judge someone because of that. For example, Ruja, what you say in India, you're telling me a lot of the way that a lot of these instances are, you can't do certain things because it's just, you suffer inside. So my thing is in this interrogation is like, a lot of this can be miscued. A lot of this can be misinterpreted.
Even though she was answering, but she wasn't really opening up.
How did she die?
Just kill her, and then she died.
See?
Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you hit her?
How?
Yeah.
Use hand to do that?
Okay.
Throughout the interrogation, Ming Ming maintained that Ashley never listened to her or her husband. She repeatedly asked to speak with her husband, but her request was denied. When questioned about what happened with Ashley's body, Ming Ming responded, I told my husband to take care of it, and I don't know how he took care of it.
Oh, she done threw the husband underneath the damn bus. She threw the husband under the bus.
My husband will take care of it.
Okay. So you're telling me that you told your husband?
I told my husband to take care of it.
Ming Ming confessed to beating her daughter to death. She also admitted that her husband helped her to take care of the body.
Oh, they both going away.
In the other interrogation room, Liang Zhao was interviewed for nearly an hour. He had no idea his wife had already confessed to everything.
Damn.
He maintained his innocence for a while, but then saw his intricate web of lies gradually unraveling. Eventually, he reached a breaking point, finally revealing the truth about the events of the fateful morning.
What happened yesterday morning?
Okay, yesterday morning, we got up, we prepped JoJo for school. I took JoJo to school. I came back. When I came back, my wife was very angry at Ashley because she peed on her diaper and she pooped on her diaper.
It's a diaper!
It's not like a big deal, but she's 5 years old and she's not potty trained, like, ever. And
oh, yeah, that is 5 years old.
Later. So, when you're 5 years old, you still don't know how to poop and potty.
But at 5 years old, you should be the one training her. Where was your parent? Did your parents? But that's also, you don't know how the grandparents train that child. So pooping at 5 years old is a little off, but shush,
that the murder
to
didn't
beat her to
occur
death
at the restaurant, but it all happened at their apartment.
Oh,
While
shit.
Ming Ming failed to provide a clear motivation for the fatal beating, Liang disclosed that she became angry when she discovered that Ashley had soiled her diaper.
And I went there angry and hit her head on the carpet, 2 times. And initially she was breathing. She was still breathing then. And
Did you watch? Did you see your wife do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Oh, damn.
Usually, so I drop off at 9-ish. I can't say approximately because I don't look at a time. Oh, my wife is banging Ashley said on the carpet. It was 9:15.
Did he just say my wife? I don't know what exact time, but I didn't come home and my wife is banging my Ashley's head on the carpet at 9:15.
9:15, I guess.
Liang admitted to witnessing the entire horrific incident,
Damn.
explaining that, afterward, Ashley appeared to be breathing, but was lying motionless on the floor.
So, right then she wasn't breathing?
No, she was breathing. She was breathing, and
was there any blood or anything?
no, there's no blood.
Was she walking?
No, she wasn't walking. She was breathing, but she was lying down.
So she was unconscious.
Gasping, like it was. I can't really remember or recall exactly what, but it was a lot heavier than normal. And then a little later, I went to hold her and just didn't feel right. And I checked her heart and stopped beating. So I started panicking and I tried to do CPR on her, try to breathe. And that's when we realized she's gone.
Liang continued his harrowing account, mentioning that initially he thought Ashley would snap out of it.
So he put the
gasping for air.
So the CPR was his way of remorse.
Ashley wasn't breathing and green fluid was coming from her mouth.
Oh,
Liang
she had brain
took
injury.
Ashley to the bathroom, attempting to revive her with CPR, but his efforts were in vain. In the horrifying aftermath of her death, Liang and Ming Ming found themselves confronted with the daunting question of what to do next.
You should have just called the cops.
We talked about it. And talked about what? She said that, we're both afraid. We're both afraid of what's going to happen if we call. Okay. I wanted to send her away so that, I'll be there. If someone gets in trouble, it'll be me. And she'll be okay.
So you wanted to take the blame for your wife.
Happened this way, not both of us are in really big trouble.
Fearing the loss of everything,
because JoJo now has no parents,
chose not to alert the authorities. Instead, they opted to stage her death to appear as an abduction or an accident.
We couldn't decide what to do, and after a while, we decided, both of us. I don't know exactly who came up with what, but
this is crazy.
So JoJo can see her. So JoJo, when you guys ask her, I was thinking maybe that was a good idea.
So they knew she was dead the whole time, and they had JoJo see her dead sister and pretend she was sleeping, so that if they were asked as an alibi, JoJo saw her sister. If they ever asked JoJo, a child, did you see your sister? That's crazy.
I wasn't thinking clearly at the time. So, bring her to the restaurant so JoJo can see her, so that when we call, JoJo can say, oh, she was here at the restaurant and she left the back door at the restaurant instead of, at the house. She accidentally got killed.
When they couldn't come up with a viable plan, Ming Ming and Liang strapped Ashley into her car seat and transported her body to the restaurant, aiming to give her sister the impression that Ashley was simply asleep. Liang explained that they believed 6-year-old JoJo could be persuaded to think Ashley was okay.
So they're using a 6-year-old as an alibi.
Or are you gonna put her at the restaurant so JoJo can see her?
And, at the room that she was normally in, she sleeps in there. So, JoJo will see that she's sleeping there and can verify it. And, she's sick, so, and even if you ask her to take a polygraph, I don't know if you can ask a 6-year-old to take a polygraph, but a 6-year-old wouldn't lie like that. And
so they were trying to set up their alibi through their daughter.
Ashley there. Okay.
In the back room of the restaurant, they laid Ashley down while they continued working, serving customers and preparing.
That's my case, chat. How do you call 911 knowing that the body is still in the restaurant and they weren't going to search the restaurant because you said it was abduction? Really?
Food.
My wife is a good person. I know it's very hard to believe, seeing Ashley, but look at JoJo. Look at JoJo, she's a good person. We knew that something like this would happen eventually if Ashley wasn't sent away. But we couldn't send her my mom because my mom will raise her like this again. I was just hoping that, it wouldn't come to this before we sent her away.
Why didn't you raise Ashley yourself?
Oh, I was running a restaurant. Couldn't really take care of everything, so I naturally...
When did the abuse start with your wife and Ashley?
About a little bit after a month after she arrived. In the beginning, it was not that bad. And the thing with Ashley was that she still doesn't know to.
So what was Ashley doing?
In the bathroom. So that really gets my wife going.
So wait, what did Ashley do?
Ashley was that she still doesn't know to potty in the bathroom. So
so she didn't know how to use the. So her mom got mad because she was using the diaper?
She still can't. She's still not potty trained.
Getting back to the last night,
You took that child's life because it wasn't potty trained? What? I mean, there's numbers of things that you could get upset. But for a child to be doing their normal function, it shows on you that you weren't training the child right.
actually cooked and served meals while your daughter was laying there.
Yes.
And
damn!
went on business as usual.
Yes.
According to Liang.
So the whole time they was running and cooking and feeding people in the restaurant lobby while their daughter was dead in the back room, yo. Ah! That's psychopathic. That's psychopathic, yo.
The initial plan was for JoJo to come home, see Ashley there, and be deceived into thinking everything was okay.
The plan was...
Well, chat, I don't know if it was the presumption that you would come pre-trained, but living with the grandparent for all those years, what did the grandparents do? I guess not potty train the child because the child came back at 4 or 5 years old, not potty trained. So what did the grandparents do the whole time? And my curiosity is, what was Ashley's life like with the grandparents? And I'm not blaming the child, but that's a genuine question I got.
For JoJo to come home and see her there to verify that she's there, and then I would hide her up on top of the walk-in freezer. And then when we called the police at night, JoJo could verify that she was there. Now that JoJo, she's not a liar, but she's 6. And when you lean her towards something, that's where she goes.
Now you're over here talking about manipulating your daughter.
She doesn't lie to people, but she is 6. When you point her at a direction, that's where she's going to go.
Liang eventually stuffed Ashley's body into a plastic container and placed it in the walk-in freezer to prevent any odor.
And then I moved her, to the walk-in freezer, put her in that plastic container so that she wouldn't stink.
What kind of container was it?
That was plastic, those busting containers for like restaurants.
You put it in a bus container?
And that's
oh, y'all deserve the death penalty.
And we were hoping that the police would come here and look. And I said, we didn't expect this. We didn't know the procedure exactly what's going on.
That they would search the restaurant.
Come down here, take a polygraph. I was going to be asked so much questions. There was going to be so many people involved. If we knew that there was going to be like 100 people searching for maybe even more, I don't even know. I am
so his presumption was that enough people weren't going to care that their daughter was missing, so that they weren't going to sound the alarms. The Attorney General of Ohio wasn't going to get involved, and it wasn't going to be as big as it comes. They thought, oh, this is just another Asian child gone missing. Local cops go looking for it, but it doesn't go deep into it. So after 6 to 10 months, everybody just forgets. That's probably why they didn't go on the news, so that it didn't become widespread.
I'm sorry.
When asked about the ultimate plan, Liang admitted he intended to burn, bury, or throw Ashley into the ocean after investigators left the restaurant. Fortunately, this gruesome plan was never carried out.
What were your plans to do after maybe we quit looking for her? Whatever. What were you going to do?
We don't really know. There was 3 things. If I burn it, bury it.
Do you see how he disassociated himself from his fucking daughter? He said, burn it. Not burn her or burn Ashley. He said, burn it. Like, because her body is no longer live, it's no longer his daughter. Like it was a piece of trash that he was throwing away. Crazy how people's mind could just flip like that. Crazy.
Throw it in the ocean. Those are the only 3 things that we can think of. And, we know that
there's no remorse in his head. There's no remorse.
Reasons. You know, other than the fact that there's so many reasons why I told Randy what I told Randy. But one of the reasons is Randy mentioned it, and I know, I mean, you know, without him telling me, I know is...
Who's Randy?
Let's say that I went through with this, and I didn't get caught. I'm going to be looking over my shoulder for I don't know how long, you know?
So now he feels guilty, and he's fine with turning himself in.
Body there. Honestly,
he's still disassociating from being his daughter. There's a dead body there. Like, that's your daughter.
After that.
2 days after the arrest, a custody hearing for JoJo took place. It was determined that she would remain in the custody of Stark County Job and Family Services. Details of Ming Ming's plight to stay in the United States became public, bringing attention to her immigration status. Local Falun Gong practitioners were outraged, expressing that Falun Gong teaches people to be truthful, compassionate, and tolerant. It teaches people to be good, not lie, and to be kind to everyone, including their daughters. Many Falun Gong practitioners live.
I'm sure the news, after they found out about the green card and the situation of how she got to America and the asylum seeking because of the religious aspects of things, they went crazy on those types of people. And I mean, like, oh, you guys are murderers, because all it takes is one person to change the view of how people perceive a certain group. Come on, we all know that, and it happens all the time. Think of how Americans, if you're American and I'm in my chat, you hear one thing about Muslims or the Middle East, and all of a sudden they're all evil. You don't look at it from both aspects. You think of Chinese, oh, it's a dictatorship, they're all just blind. You don't look at it from both sides of it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Lived in the area and argued that if Ming Ming was a true practitioner, someone in the community would recognize her. They all suggested that Ming Ming might have used the faith as an excuse not to return to China, stating that many Chinese use Falun Gong as a reason to seek asylum.
Oh.
Meanwhile, it was decided that Ashley would be laid to rest in New York, where Liang's family lived. In September, Liang appeared in court and dramatically changed his plea. He pleaded guilty to obstructing justice, corpse abuse, tampering with evidence, and endangering children. This decision was part of a plea agreement where Liang agreed to testify against Ming Ming in her upcoming trial.
I guess he ain't love his wife.
12-year sentence.
He got 12 years? That's it? For watching his wife kill his daughter and then stashing the body. You only got 12 years in a plea? That means they gave Ming Ming like a death sentence, or they gave her 3 consecutive lives of
Ming
full
Ming
life.
repeatedly asked to speak with Liang. She confided in the psychologist that Liang was the one responsible for Ashley's death, instructing her to tell investigators that she was the culprit.
Oh,
Liang
damn.
allegedly explained that if Ming Ming confessed, he could get out of jail and care for JoJo. He warned that if she didn't confess, JoJo would be placed in foster care. Ming Ming was ordered to stand trial, but she too agreed to a plea deal. Ming Ming was then sentenced to 22 years in prison. Additionally, it was decided that upon completing her sentence, she would be deported to China. Liang was sentenced to 12 years in prison. JoJo remained under the temporary custody of Stark County Job and Family Services for a while, but then she was allowed to live with her relatives in New York, where her sister Ashley was buried. Her parents would be in prison long enough for her to be a grown adult, able to protect herself by the time they were released. In honor of Ashley Zhao.
What? So she took a plea. See, this is the things that I get the point of the plea deal to take away the burden of going to trial. But 22 years for killing your daughter, for soiling her diaper? Crazy word.
Memory. Please consider subscribing to True Crime Stories to ensure that tragic stories like hers don't go unnoticed.
Good
you can
story.
Help to raise awareness.
You got a like from me, buddy.
For
oh my goodness. They only gave her 22 years. 22. And he only got 12. Ohio is a little lenient on justice, apparently, because that 5-year-old couldn't talk for herself. We don't know how much beatings that 5-year-old went through during her time span at her parents' house. And ultimately, she succumbed to her death after her head was smashed into the floor. And then to be tossed into a storage in a restaurant like she was a piece of trash? Nah, they deserve more than that, partner. They deserve more than that. And I condemn all the judges and all that who sentenced them to 12 years. And the problem I have with that is she faces 22 years and then gets to go back to China? And the problem is, when she goes back to China, she's not even going to be looked at as a criminal because she's not a criminal in China's eyes. I don't know how I feel about that. A lot of these stories don't always have the best endings that we want. You feel me? But let Ashley Zhao rest in peace. I hope JoJo can take this and be able to become who she wants to be, and it doesn't destroy her life because of the two things her parents did. Thank y'all for joining me on this. Till next mystery. Love you, Ma.